Hey there, yoga family. Keya Williams here, coming at you with a yoga tutorial. So if you're looking for a way to open the chest, maybe give yourself a little more breathing room and stretch those tight quadriceps, then this just might be the posture for you. Today's tutorial is all about camel's pose, or in Sanskrit, ustrasana. So there's several reasons to do camel pose. As I mentioned a little bit earlier, we're opening up the chest and taking some of that innate rounding that's out of the spine that happens when we spend a little too much time on the computer or driving in the car. It's also a wonderful stretch to the chest, the abdomen, and the quadriceps that often get pretty tight if you're like me and you do a lot of walking or running or other kind of aerobic workouts that really put a lot of emphasis on quadricep strengthening. This posture is a really good way to kind of introduce yourself to back bends because you get to support yourself fully. So it's one of the more safe back bends to do, and we're going to do a couple of variations of it using a block. If you have two blocks of the same size, two blocks would also work, and I'll show you some modifications of it without blocks. Now I will say if your mat isn't very thick, then make sure you have a blanket. It can be a throw blanket, it doesn't have to be anything complicated, underneath of your knees to give yourself a little more support. All right guys, let's get into it. So we are going to start our camel pose on our knees, and we're actually going to stand on the knees. I'm going to turn this way so you can see a little bit better what's going on. We're going to stand on our knees with our knees hip distance apart. Now mind you guys, our hips are not this wide, our hips are just about this wide. We're only going to have about an inch or two between the insides of our knees. Right? So we're going to turn this way, and I'm actually going to start with my toes curled. So we're going to do a variation that is not using a prop, right? So we're going to start with our fists, and we're going to take the flat edge of our knuckles and bring it just above the cushiest portion of our glutes, right? These knuckles are here to help support our pelvic alignment, so we're not swaying the butt out in that direction, nor are we going to want to under-articulate the butt down towards the floor, okay? So we're going to draw the elbows towards each other and expand the chest. Notice that you want to draw the navel in towards the spine here. Always keep the belly engaged when we're doing a back bend. Next thing we're going to do is start to lift the heart up towards the ceiling and slightly turn the gaze up. Right? So this might be your ustrasana for now. So long as you're feeling the stretch in the shoulders, this gets really intense in the muscles right around the shoulder and also in the belly. Right? If you want to go a little bit further, you're going to turn the gaze even further up. Use those knuckles to press the hips even further forward. If you want to go a little bit further, as your third option, we're going to reach for the heels. Right? So the heels a little bit higher this time. We're going to reach back, see if we can grab hold of the heels, and keep pressing the heart up and dump the head back. Okay? If you want a little bit more intensity here, you're just going to untuck the toes. Tops of the feet will press, and you'll go back for the heels as well and keep pressing the heart forward and the hips forward. Right? As you're ready, come on up. Sit back on the heels and take a child's pose. So we always want to take ourselves in the opposite direction, particularly when we do back bends. Swaying side to side is a really good way to release the muscles of the low back. And then when you're ready, come on up. Okay? So now I'm going to show you a variation that involves a block. Right, so if we can't reach back and grab the heels when they're high or when they're low, then we're going to use a block so we can get the same benefit of this posture. So I'm going to place my block right on the outside of one of my feet. Okay? The opposite hand is going to reach up towards the ceiling, and we're going to take all those same cues. Navel drawn in, heart lifted. Notice that we don't just dive back. We lift up and get kind of like that rainbow effect before we hinge back. And we're going to reach back for our block. Pressing into the block, keep lifting the chest. Right? Heart lifts up, hips go forward. So we don't want to tip the pelvis back this way. Keep pushing the pelvis forward. Right? And then as you're ready, bring yourself back up. Now if you had two blocks, and unfortunately I don't have two blocks of the same height, you're going to do the same thing just with one block on either side, and you reach back to grab both blocks. And you essentially would be in a full ustrasana position just with the use of props. Remember, after you finish taking your back bend, always take a forward fold. That can be child's pose, that can be any kind of seated forward fold that you want to release the tension in the low back. That's all I got for you for ustrasana today. If you have any questions about it, I'd love to hear from you. Drop me a line below in the comment section and let me know what you thought. Or if you have any other questions about any other posture you'd like to learn about, I'd love to make another yoga tutorial for you. Just leave me a comment below and I'll be sure to get back to you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you around. Bye. Hey Yoga Mama, thanks so much for watching my video. But if you'd like more simple tips to help you juggle your busy life as mom, I have just the thing for you. I've just created a brand new video that's specifically designed for moms who have a lot on their must-do list, but could use some practical tips to help them do motherhood with more ease and joy. Now, I've done my research and my own personal yoga practice, and I've come up with a simple 3-step system that I use all the time to help me increase my energy, improve my focus, and decrease my stress. And that's exactly what you'll learn in this free video. Now, the really cool thing about this yoga-based system is that each step can take less than 10 minutes, and you don't need a yoga mat, stretchy yoga pants. You don't even need to be alone to make these strategies work in your life. Now, you can sign up for this totally free video by going to nourished-motherhood.com/video and start feeling the peace, balance, and ease that you deserve to feel in your mom life. See you around.